Sweat, baby, sex is a Texas drought. Me and you do the kind of stuff that only Prince would sing about. So put your hands down my pants, and I'll bet you'll feel nuts. Yes, I'm Cisco, yes, I'm Ebert, and you're getting 2 thumbs up. You had enough of 2-hand touch, you want it rough, you're out of bounds. I want you smothered, want you covered like my Waffle House. Hash browns coming quicker than FedEx, never reach an apex. Just like Coca-Cola stock, you are inclined to make me rise an hour early, just like daylight savings time. Do it now. You and me, baby, ain't nothing but mammals, so let's do it like they do on the Discovery Channel. Do it again now. You and me, baby, ain't nothing but mammals, so let's do it like they do on the Discovery Channel. Do it now.
Shake that ass for me, shake that ass for me. Come on, girl, shake that ass for me, shake that ass for me. Oh, girl, shake that ass for me, shake that ass for me. Come on, girl, shake that ass for me, shake that ass for me. There she is, shaking that ass on the floor, bumping and grinding that pole. The way she's grinding that pole, I think I'm losing control. Get boys, get drunk, get cool, get fucked up. Get strip club, don't forget one, get your rub, get fucked, get sucked, get wasted, shit wasted, pasted, blasted, puke, drink, don't get a new drink, got the bathroom sink. Wipe your shoe clean, got a routine going, still got a few jokes on shoestrings showing. I was dehydrated to the beat, vibrated, I was revived. As soon as this bitch gyrated them hips and make them hips, and that was it. I had to get naked, dog, get to sing some shit.
Love, the kind you clean up with a mop and bucket. Like the lost catacombs of Egypt, only God knows where we stuck it. Hieroglyphics, let me be Pacific. I wanna be down in your South Seas, but I got this notion that the motion of your ocean means small craft advisory. So if I capsize on your thighs, high tide B5, you sunk my battleship. Please turn me on, I'm Mr. Coffee with an automatic drip. So show me yours, I'll show you mine. Tool time, you'll love it just like loud, and then we'll do it doggy style so we can both watch X-Files. You and me, baby, ain't nothing but mammals, so let's do it like they do on the Discovery Channel. Do it again now. You and me, baby, ain't nothing but mammals, so let's do it like they do on the Discovery Channel.
Shake that ass for me, shake that ass for me. Come on, girl, shake that ass for me, shake that ass for me. Oh, girl, shake that ass for me, shake that ass for me. Come on, girl, shake that ass for me, shake that ass for me.
Come on, you're cute, I don't need no makeup. Original cute body, you want me man, man. Come on, you're cute, I don't need no makeup. Original cute body, you want me man, man. Woman, physically fit, physically fit, physically. Woman, physically fit, physically fit, physically. Woman, you're nice, sweet, fantastic. Reach up on the ocean and I'll be Titanic. Woman, you're nice, sweet, energetic. Reach up on the ocean and I'll be Titanic. Woman, you're nice, sweet, fantastic. Reach up on the ocean and I'll be Titanic. Woman, you're nice, sweet, energetic. Reach up on the ocean and I'll be Titanic.
Shake that ass for me, shake that ass for me. Come on, girl, shake that ass for me, shake that ass for me. Oh, girl, shake that ass for me, shake that ass for me. Come on, girl, shake that ass for me, shake that ass for me.
Have you heard of Jesus?
I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. You like to do it again. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. You like to get hold of it.
This goes out to all the women in the world, especially her. You know it don't even matter your age, don't even matter your color. Your fellas, I ain't forget about y'all. This is for everybody that like to dance. Just listen to what I'm saying and do it and take a chance. I put my hand up on your hip. When I dip, you dip, we dip. You put your hand up on my hip. When you dip, I dip, we dip. I put my hand up on your hip. When I dip, you dip, we dip. You put yours, then I put mine. Then we can dip down low and roll it, grind. Just get on the floor like I said before. Y'all remember that down low. Just put a little dip with it. Now see G-string having oh so much fun. Playing inside between them buns. Shawty got it going on like Marvin. Teasing me and she know I'm starving. Lick you up, then lick you down. I ain't finished, girl, turn around. Lick you up and down your back, cause I'm that freak, I'm freaky like that. Freak nasty, wanna see, can y'all do this right? I put my hand up on your hip. When I dip, you dip, we dip. You put your hand up on my hip. When you dip, I dip, we dip. I put my hand up on your hip. When I dip, you dip, we dip. You put yours, then I put mine. Then we can dip down low and roll it ground. I'm setting it off to another level. You're digging freak nasty without a shovel. This is my world. I'm just a squirrel trying to get a nut. So what's up, yo DJ? When the party's getting slow, join this jam and watch that flow get taken over like a 94. When I had the whole world getting down low. New Orleans born, ATL living. Freak nasty is what I'm giving. My juice is sweet like Georgia peaches. Women suck it up like leeches. It feels so good, you must admit you like this. Shh, yeah, y'all know the song. So come on, won't you sing it? I put my hand up on your hip. When I dip, you dip, we dip. You put your hand up on my hip. When you dip, I dip, we dip. I put my hand up on your hip. When I dip, you dip, we dip. You put your hand up on my hip. When you dip, I dip, we dip. I put my hand up on your hip. When I dip, you dip, we dip. You put your hand up on my hip. When you dip, I dip, we dip. I put my hand up on your hip. When I dip, you dip, we dip. You put your hand up on my hip. When you dip, I dip, we dip.
All right, Chad, how we doing tonight? How's everybody doing? Oh, we had a super chat earlier. Let's put that back up on the screen real quick.
Have you heard of Jesus?
That's not Tom Bombadil. Donates $2 and says, PPP says Gonzalez is still alive. Megyn Kelly implied Epstein is still alive. I mean, I don't know about that. I don't think PPP has any inside information. I'm sorry to tell you. And as for Megyn Kelly, I haven't taken Megyn Kelly seriously ever. I've hated that bitch. I mean, I was a politics junkie, especially in the 2000s. I hated that bitch since, like, you know, the W years. That bitch always rubbed me the wrong way. Yeah, I'll take the hipster thing. I've hated Megyn Kelly well before it was cool. So yeah, are either one of those things possible? Sure. A lot of things are fucking possible. But I doubt it. I kind of miss watching Kino Casino. I haven't watched them in ages. And I know they're still going on, but it's like, they're on fucking Kick, and Kick sucks. It's trash. I can't get Kick to work on my Roku for shit. I can download Kick streaming onto the Roku, but it will never boot up. That could just be me. You know, maybe my TV, it's, you know, it's only 2 years old or something, but, you know, that's ancient at this point. Who knows? I have a hard time getting Kick to work on mobile. I'm lucky if it runs for 10 minutes without perpetually just getting stuck in freezing in a loading cycle that I have to, you know, refresh the whole page and start over. So yeah, that's why I don't watch Kino Casino anymore. I have to be sitting here at this laptop to actually be able to watch it. And I don't care that much about which 17-year-old boy Nick is probably molesting, or which hooker Ralph is pretending is his girlfriend this week. I don't care that much. It's funny. Like, I don't mind watching it, but Kino Casino has always been something I've had to have on in the background while I'm doing something else. I'm not going to just sit here and fucking watch it. It's not that riveting. But, I mean, they are shitting on America First, so God bless them. I wish them well. It's just, you know, they're going down a path I can't follow because fucking Kick doesn't work for me. Chat says, I'm with Argent on this take. CRP was crazy stupid for doing what he did. A lot of people on the left have done a lot worse in other countries, but the government bailed them out. The man grifted it right into the Grim Reaper's hands. That's right, chat. Look, I don't have any necessarily ill will towards Coach Red Pill, but I also don't give a shit about him. I never really watched his content. I've seen him on streams before. I'm not sure if I've really even seen one of his streams before. I was never impressed nor did I ever hate him. He just was. You know what I mean? This is an interesting story on a national... There's a reason like Tucker and shit have covered that. Because look, Ukraine is supposed to be the country we're supporting, remember? They're supposed to be this bastion of liberal democracy against the evil authoritarian, evil Putin that strangles puppies or whatever. I mean, all that's bullshit, but that's what we're told. So for them to, round up and throw in a gulag somebody who's just a journalist, basically. You can argue about what quality, but that's, the quality of what he was doing, but that's what he was doing. That said, though, of course it was fucking stupid on his part. Because, look, while I'm a firm believer in freedom of speech, I don't know if you knew this, chat, I'm in charge of neither the Ukraine nor Russia. So, to wander into a war zone where you know damn well that both sides are corrupt and both sides openly disdain freedom of speech and openly disdain freedom of the press and be like, I'm going to be a journalist. That's probably stupid. That's probably very, very stupid. And you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. I don't know what to tell you. But despite the name of this stream, I'm not really going to be talking about Coach all the time. It just was too funny of a pun. And I never know what to name these things. So whatever. So, I don't know. I have no real ill will towards Coach Red Pill. On one level, he certainly didn't deserve that. You should not be thrown in a gulag to rot away and die for the crime of reporting things. I don't believe that. But, the people that run Ukraine believe that. And we all knew they believed that. So, So, yeah, I wouldn't want to be anywhere over there. And if I was over there, I'd certainly understand the risks. So we see, wasn't CRP doing pro-Russia stuff? He definitely leaned pro-Russia. Forney says CRP wasn't a Ukrainian citizen. He only had Chilean and U.S. citizenship. I mean, yeah, that's the other thing. You were a guest there, so. Now, again, he would argue, I was doing journalism. And that's great. I mean, cool. But come on, Coach, you knew they weren't going to see it that way. You knew that wasn't going to hold any water with them. Again, I believe in freedom of the press. But once again, I can't stress this enough. I'm not in charge of the Ukraine. I'm not in charge of Russia. Okay? Like, Zelensky is known to pull that kind of shit. Putin's known to pull that kind of shit. If you'd have been over there spouting pro-Ukrainian shit, you'd end up with a plutonium cocktail one day. Like, what do you expect? Somebody says Biden could have gotten him out with a phone call. Of course, that's why I am glad that guys like Tucker cover it. Because again, I don't care one way or another about Coach Red Pill, but it does sort of point out that maybe the Ukraine isn't the sunshine, rainbows, and lollipops bastion of liberal democracy we pretend it is. Something else I found interesting that I literally just saw today, Chad. Remember the completionist? Stealing all that charity money? Well, trying to steal all that charity. Well, he did steal a lot of it. I mean, the family did steal a lot of it. I wandered over to his channel to see what was up. He's got 4 new reviews up. Oh, no, 3. 3 new reviews up in the past, week and a half. And he's just acting like nothing happened. Just like nothing happened. Just like, yeah, guys, here's what I thought of the Super Mario RPG remake. Like, the balls on that guy. And you know, the sad thing is, probably gonna kind of work. He ain't gonna build his thing back up to where it was, but he'll still skate by. He's got enough dick riders. Forney says people calling him a journalist, but he didn't do any real front right partying. He sat in his apartment doing commentary. He could have done that anywhere. Oh, I'm not disputing that, Forney. I'm just saying, you know, quality of it aside, he was doing journalism. Not very good, not very insightful, but that is what he was doing. So no, I don't believe it was right to throw him in a gulag for that. And yes, I know the U.S. has also done that, Forney. And we shouldn't have done that, just so we're clear. Like, yes, Lincoln threw a bunch of journalists in there. We did that shit many, many times over the years. And you know what? It was wrong when we did it, too. Like I'm saying, on a philosophical level, it was wrong when we did it. We should not have done it. Okay? But yeah, it does sort of point out that, you know, because it's not like Coach Red Pill's fucking reporting was going to lose the war for him, okay? Let's be real. So it says just ignoring issues does work. It's what PR firms tell people and corporations to do. I mean, it'll probably work for him. He won't have the audience he did, and Lord knows he'll never be able to do another fucking charity. Though supposedly those golf tournaments are still going on that his family did. It's easy to look at a guy like that and get mad. Because, like, oh, you got away with it. Oh, my gosh. Nobody likes seeing people get away with that kind of shit. But the more I dug into completionist, the more I was like, I feel a little bad for this fucker. You know, he's the fucking dork man-child in this family that really didn't seem to have a lot of tolerance for it. He was always kind of the black sheep. It kind of seemed to me like he was going along with a lot of this bullshit because his family, his fucking den of thieves family, especially his father, was kind of pushing him to. I don't know. I can't be mad at him because I feel like behind the scenes he sleeps in the bed he made. Since his made soul find peace in the afterlife about Coach. Yeah, I don't have any real issue with Coach. I have no opinion on Coach Red Pill one way or another. No strong opinion. Again, it was stupid what he did. Yeah. I don't know what he thought he was going to accomplish doing that. You know, play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. So everybody got tomorrow off? I actually have tomorrow off. First job I've had in a long time has got Martin Luther King Day off. This job has all the fucking bank holidays off, I tell you. Of course, I'm still a temp, so I don't get paid for tomorrow, so that kind of sucks. Especially since I'm trying to get some fucking checks under my belt. This is the completionist was involved in a G4 reboot trash fire. Yeah, that sucked. This is being stupid was a crime. We couldn't build enough prisons. No, we sure couldn't. No, we could not. I don't know, man. The whole completionist thing, though, it's like I know that's probably the best move. I don't feel like I
Have you
could
heard
do
of
that.
Jesus?
I don't feel like I could do that in this position. Like, I don't know. I got shame. That's the only thing. So he says, I had to use a vacation day tomorrow. I'll celebrate Dr. King's legacy in my own appropriate way. Well, good for you. I hear Black is having a sale tomorrow. That's... Most places are working tomorrow, though. I was very, like earlier this past week, I heard, oh, yeah, we have this next Monday off. I'm like, why? There's certain holidays I like to call bank holidays just because it's like, unless you work for a bank or a school, some sort of government thing, you probably don't have them off. And that's kind of one of them. I'm a little annoyed now because, again, trying to get some fucking checks under my belt. You know, so I didn't necessarily want the day off right now, but it is what it is. Next year it'll be nice. You know. Sending a Chief tip $3. Thank you very much for that. It says R.I.P. CRP. I understand him staying behind. He had a wife and 2 young children, but he needed to shut up or get to the Russian area of Ukraine where him or his family wouldn't get arrested. That's the other thing. Yeah, you're putting your family at risk. That's... And for what? So you bitch about Zelensky? Like... Yeah, that's pretty fucking stupid. So my place is closed tomorrow. We apparently have the prerequisite number of Black employees to necessitate being closed. I'm not sure you have to have Black employees to be closed. I'm not sure if that's how that works. Because I think more holidays should be like Christmas that we actually care about. I remember my dad, when he was still in the Navy Reserves, he had at least one 3-day weekend a month. Like, I mean, federal holidays, there's tons of fucking federal holidays. So you don't know his family situation. Crossing a contact line isn't as easy as you think it is. Look, I'm just saying, like, don't put your family at risk. You know, if you're a man and you have a wife and kids, that's your first responsibility in this world. Okay? And to put them at risk just to run your mouth, it's not like... It's not even like he had some bombshell information that was going to turn the tides of things. No, he was just sitting there running his mouth. So, you know, there is a certain logic of keeping your head down, especially when people depend on you like that. So the Ukraine war is still going on. I thought the Israel war is a new thing now. Well, it's definitely the thing we're focusing on. Since his Bechtloff has redhead waifu in 2024. I mean, I hope so. Nothing right now, but the year's young. So there's no way CRP could have crossed Russian control part. He would have gotten shot, crossing active war zone, and likely arrested by the Russians if he made it. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know what the fuck. He was like, he'd moved there before all this or whatever. I don't know, man. I don't feel like there's a lot of good reasons, even years ago before this whole thing popped off. I don't feel like there's got a lot of good reasons for an American to go live in the Ukraine. I don't feel like there's many innocent explanations for that decision. I could be wrong, but that's just my thoughts. So that's one thing Catholics got right. They have a lot of holidays. Can't we get an Epiphany, Fat Tuesday, or Ash Wednesday off instead? There's a Fat Tuesday is a big thing around here. They call it Fosnot Day. A lot of the people around here do that, or a lot of places at work. I've fallen for that numerous times because Fosnots are actually fucking nasty. They're like donuts, but they look like almost an apple fritter in shape. They're really like thick, and they're made of potato bread, and there's nothing inside, no jelly, nothing like that. It's just this glob of potato bread that has some fucking powdered sugar on top of it. It's disgusting. It's fucking trash. It's fucking trash. And I fall for that so many times over the years. Because I never realize it's Fat Tuesday either. I never think of that. You know, and I'm just go to work and it's like, oh, somebody brought in donuts, and I take a bite and I'm like, ah, son of a bitch. She said Ukrainians made the cardinal error of not controlling Hollywood and the World Bank. Fair point. You know, we've moved on to giving money to Israel now. So, yes, Chad, I believe Coach did have a heart condition. Probably why a Ukrainian gulag wasn't the fucking best place for him. Yeah, I figured he'd die there. I kind of did. But no, I could go for having Fat Tuesday or Ash Wednesday off. That'd be nice. She said I should try them sometime. Bechtloff was terrible taste. Well, Cynic, you like all that country kitchen slop, so you might actually like it. It's fucking terrible. Fucking donut made of potato bread. It's so nasty. And I fall for it every time. It never occurs to me. Like, it's just, like, sometimes people bring in donuts, you know? It's like, oh, somebody brought in donuts. Are these for everybody? Oh, fucking sweet. You know? Sometimes the boss puts out donuts at places to try and distract you from the fact that your benefits and pay are trash. the old pizza party move, you know? His coach chose to die doing something he believed in. Awesome. Well, good for him. Seems pretty stupid to me, but all right. Maybe you should try believing in things that aren't that retarded. Like, I don't know. Maybe going to an active war zone where both sides are corrupt shitheads that would happily throw you in a gulag for merely annoying them. just so you can have the most banal takes anybody's ever fucking heard. Maybe isn't a good way to throw your life away. I don't know, chat. That's me. You know. Like, maybe instead, just take care of your family. Go home and be a family man. So I said, for some reason, people seem to think Russia is base, but I suspect they haven't spoken to many Russians. Let's see. Did I talk about the NYC Jew tunnels yet? No, I did not. Man, Derek was really mad about me just like shitting on Coach. Would talk about banal takes. All right. What do you believe in? Porn? Wait Where did this guy come from? Good Lord. Good Lord. But no, I didn't talk about the Jew tunnel shit. That shit was hilarious, though. That's right, chat. Cue the Mario Brothers underground music. I'm sorry, there's not a lot of good explanations for those fucking tunnels. Well, you know, they built them so that they could worship during COVID. Really, I'm no expert on Old Testament Jewish law, but I don't know what a bloody mattress and a high chair is necessary. I don't remember reading about David and Solomon putting those in the temple. Oh man, Derek's really mad. Seriously, what do you believe in? Oh, brother, dude. What do you want? You want me to be like, yay, Putin? Huh? Is that what you want, bro? Because he's based? I don't tell you, bro. I believe in Jesus. I believe in taking care of your family. I believe that maybe if you have a wife and children, that's your first fucking responsibility in this world. Not running off into the middle of a war zone so you can showboat about how you're a big old journalist. How about that? How about you have a wife and kids? You fucking take care of them. You don't drag them into the middle of a war zone and run your fucking mouth. That sound like something good to believe in? You don't die an idiot's death. How about that? Don't go around hitting a fucking hornet's nest with a stick. There's some good advice for you. There's a good thing to believe in. Don't stick your dick in a hornet's nest. Korean rooftop gunman versus Dominic tunnels. You know, you can't just go digging a tunnel in NYC, okay? Didn't you ever see Ghostbusters 2? You know, they got in trouble for that. And they were trying to stop Vigo the Carpathian, not just molest children. You know, they had a good reason. Exactly. You took no risks in life, America. Derek, risks are not inherently a good thing, by the way. I could go out tomorrow and spend my entire fucking, like all the money I need to pay bills this month on lottery tickets. That's a risk. And hey, if it pays off, but it's stupid. Some risks are stupid. The trees speak Vietnamese, the snow speaks Swedish, the roof speak Korean, the floor speak Yiddish. I mean, I don't know, Derek. Why don't you wander off to fucking Ukraine and go run your mouth? That sounds good. I recommend it. Go be a hero. Go be a hero. You show us all. What did I accomplish in life? I don't know. I haven't wandered the world as a sex tourist. Grifting on the red pill. Only to die in a gulag. So, you're not Ukrainian, Derek? Well, neither was Coach. I don't know what to tell you. Is CRP actually dead? That's what's being reported. Well, Derek, I think you've had your fun. Mods, can someone show Derek the door? I'm kind of bored with it now. He's very upset. I think he's mourning Coach's loss, and I think we should give him his space. Just thought of something. Remember back in the Bush Patriot Act years when conservatives were all for renditions and having people tortured in foreign lands? Pepperidge Farm remembers. Let's see. Alright. He's good. I was about to get rid of him. Well, he's mourning Coach's loss. I think we should give him a space. That's right. Coach was an international man of mystery. I understand people come in here and want to be like mad at me. What did you... What have I done to anybody, chat? I just sit here and crack some jokes and have a good time. And people want to come in here mad. I don't get it. Just coming here and... What did you do? What have you done for the movement? Like, where do you think you are? Do you think we give a shit about any of that anymore? Here, this is in 2014. We're not fighting Gamergate or something, okay? We're not bringing ethics to Ukrainian journalism. I don't give a shit. All right? I said he didn't deserve it, but it was also stupid. So what do you expect? You know? This just has a new box factory. Well, new job at the dildo factory is going good. Could have done without that Christmas shutdown right as I started off. Is Bechtloff forklift certified? I am forklift certified, actually. Sit down and stand up. This is one thing the Russian-Ukrainian war proved is that half of the alternatard media is full of shit disinfo agents, not necessarily connected to U.S. intelligence. The ferocity to which many in the alternatard media jumped on the pro-Putin bandwagon was telling Ukraine a corrupt country, but it was invaded. I mean, I don't give a shit about the Ukraine. I've said that from the beginning. I said we shouldn't be involved. It's none of our fucking business. I don't give a shit about Russia. I don't give a shit about the Ukraine. Yeah. Putin could murder Zelensky with his bare hands on television. I wouldn't give a shit. And vice versa. Zelensky could murder Putin with his bare hands on television. I wouldn't give a shit. Who fucking cares? Like, who gives a shit? It's the other side of the fucking planet. Gas is like fucking $5 a gallon right now. That's what I give a shit about, okay? I give a shit that I can't go to the grocery store to pick up a few things without feeling like I got raped in the wallet. That's what I give a shit about, alright? I don't fucking care about Ukraine, Russia, Israel, or any of these fuckers. I'm tired of giving them my money, I can tell you that much. So he says, I started watching you in 2015 when I was 15. Well, thank you for making me feel old. Thank you for that. Like the halcyon days of yore of 2015. Thank you for that. What about Poland in 1942 or 19? I don't give a shit about Poland either. I wouldn't have given a shit back then. If I was in charge of America in World War II and it's like, Hitler is beating the shit out of France, and I'm like, well, good for him. Everybody likes to slap France around once in a while. Yeah. And don't give me that fucking Pearl Harbor shit. All right, we knew that was coming and we let it happen. B, that's because we were hitting a hornet's nest with stick. What the fuck do you expect? By the way, World War II only happened because we got involved in World War I. World War I would have been a stalemate. There wouldn't have been a Nazi Germany. Probably wouldn't even have been a fucking Soviet Union if we hadn't gotten involved in World War I. You know, everybody was in the trenches and they were tired and they were a fucking cunt hair away from saying to hell with this and everybody just going home. I don't care either, Bechtloff. The only thing I want to know is at your job, do you pilot one of those forklift suits from Aliens? That would be badass. Aliens is my favorite movie about the importance of being forklift certified. I don't know. These people, they like Spurg dude, I don't know, what was his name? Derek? Spelled with a Y or something? Derek with a Y. Like he's a fucking hair metal band from the 80s. My man, if you still sitting there listening and being all mad and shit, like, calm the fuck down. Alright, I'll let you in on a little secret. A political philosophy is not a substitute. Whatever it is you're going on about. Whatever weird, esoteric fucking philosophy that you picked up from a blog that you're going on about. It's not a substitute for a fucking personality. And a cause is not a substitute for a life. That's all I'll tell you, man. This is B-Man doing a 2024 election stream, staying up to see if Biden or Haley is going to win. No, I'm probably not doing that. And I assure you I'm not voting for Nikki Haley. Will not vote for Nikki Haley. I'd vote for fucking Apu, Vivek. I'd vote for fucking Orange Man. I'd even vote for Florida Man. At this point, I'm not voting for Nikki Haley. I'm not doing it. No. Nikki Haley would be absolutely worse than fucking Biden. Because never underestimate. Look, usually the Republicans are better than the Democrats. About 90% of the time. But there's a 10% time when they can absolutely be a million times worse. Because they have a competency that the Democrats usually don't fucking have, for one. Certainly the Biden doesn't have. And Nikki Haley is a monster, okay? Nikki Haley is pure fucking evil. So no, I'm not voting for Nikki Haley. Not no, but hell no. I'll stay home. I'll write in Trump. I'll vote for whatever dipshit pothead the libertarians are running. way before I vote for fucking Nikki Haley. It's not going to happen. All right? Like, no. And Nikki Haley's not going to win. I mean, nobody fucking likes Nikki Haley, so she's not going to fucking win. Even if she gets the nomination, she's not fucking winning. So no, I'm not voting for Nikki Haley. Not no, but hell no. He says, what if Haley is Trump's VP? Then I'm not voting for Trump. I'm not. If Trump even announces that he intends to put Nikki Haley in his cabinet, I'm not voting for Trump. So no. The answer is no.
Have you heard of Jesus?
So Syndicate Chief sends $5. Says, if it's Biden versus Haley, I'm riding with Biden. I don't know about that, man. I don't know that I can cast a vote for a senile old reanimated corpse that raped his own daughter. So, like, you know, I don't know. We'll see what pothead the libertarians are running. Wouldn't be the first time I voted third party. Probably won't be the last. I mean, I'll hold my nose and vote for the lesser of two evils sometimes. You know, the first presidential race I voted for was in 2004. I missed being eligible to vote for the 2001 by like a year. So in 2004, I voted for Kerry. I didn't like Kerry. I just hated W. You know, in 2012, I voted for Romney. I didn't like Romney. He's a piece of shit, but I hated Obama. But no, I'm not voting for Nikki Haley. You kidding me? Forney says, don't vote for Indians. No Nimrata, no Rama Lama Ding Dong. I mean, I'll vote for Vivek before I... Like, yeah, I know he's probably full of shit, but he's saying the right things, so... There's at least that. But no, I'm not voting for Haley. Fuck that. I'm with Rand Paul on that. Never Nikki. Cynic asked if I was taking calls, so you know what? Screw it. Let's fire up the Discord and hop in there. Let's see. Alright, so I think that'll work. Alright, if you're in the Discord, you can hop into the voice chat. So it says only Liz Cheney is worse than Nikki. Yeah, Liz Cheney would probably be worse. Or McCain's fat, stupid daughter would probably be worse. There are Republicans that are on that level of shitbag as Nikki Haley. I mean, honestly, fucking DeSantis is as bad when it comes to foreign policy. But at least DeSantis' domestic policy would be a little bit better. So he says, I work with East Asians. They're very family conservative, but socially, fiscally conservative. I think he meant socially liberal. Vivek probably likely only believes half what he says. I don't know, man. It's he comes out there and says everything you know that he knows everyone wants to hear, and that's nothing if not suspicious.
Vivek says stuff that even Trump won't dare to say. I think I support him over Trump.
Here's the thing with Vivek that tells me he's not serious. Vivek is the only one of all the Republicans that were running. Like, go back to the fall when there were like 20 of them. You know, Vivek is the only one that could have hit Trump where it hurts. He's the only one that could have attacked him from a position that would have actually hurt him. He could have gone after him about the lockdowns and the vaccine and all that kind of shit. And he never did. He never went hard on Trump when he was the only one in a position to do so. So that tells me he's not serious about winning. He's running for a cabinet position.
I think he's running for VP. A cabinet position would be okay with him, but he's running for VP. And I think he may actually get it.
We'll see. I mean, him and Trump are exchanging words with each other right now, but at the same time, Trump runs his mouth all the time. He called Ted Cruz a little rat fucker one minute and then say he's the best guy in the world. Trump's always full of shit like that, so we'll see.
But I also think Vivek is playing the long game. He's looking, there's not going to be a Trump in 2028.
Well, no, they can't. I mean, he can't. Which, I wasn't sure. I always heard as a kid that you couldn't have 2 consecutive terms. But I guess it is just 2 terms. But I swear I remember as a kid being taught it was 2 consecutive terms. It's just most presidents are so fucking old that they couldn't sit out 4 years and then run again.
Well, and some states prevent a governor from running 2 consecutive terms, but you could take a break and then come back.
Yeah, I thought the presidency was 2. I swear I remember being taught that as a kid, but I guess that's not right.
Yeah, I don't see who's going to be running in 20. Again, we wouldn't know until it happens, but who would the Republicans run in 2028?
It'd be fucking AOC running.
Yeah,
it'll be AOC versus Boebert.
AOC.
AOC versus Boebert, and instead of fucking debates, they just mud wrestle.
That wouldn't still be so bad.
That'd be great. I'd be okay with that.
Yeah, and to give presidential domains, you can subscribe to their OnlyFans.
Exactly. See, now we're talking. These are all tremendous ideas. Oh man. I wonder if that Daryl guy is, or Derek is, Derek, if you're in the fucking Derek, if you're in the Discord, why don't you hop on, bud?
Yeah, I timed him out for 24 hours, so he can hop on the next one.
I don't think he's in the Discord. I don't know. I just don't get the people to run up to me and they're mad that I'm not waving their flag around, whatever the particular fucking cause du jour they're about. They're like, "What have you done for the movement?" And I'm like, "I'm not in your movement. I'm not in any of your clubs. I'm not in any of your movements. I'm not waving your flags. Leave me alone." I just want to go on the internet and make jokes, talk about Ninja Turtles. Leave me alone.
Oh, you got the audience for it.
Yeah.
I don't know much about Ninja Turtles, but I can make jokes.
I don't even go on here grifting about nerd shit. I'm not even like the Comic Skates guys where it's no guys, I'm gonna buy Isom #1. It'll really show Marvel. No, that's gay. Just want to have some fun.
I'm surprised you haven't started your own comic yet.
I kind of, years and years ago, I did with a buddy of mine. And I mean, we had quite a bit done. But he went through some really rough personal things. And it got shelved pretty much indefinitely. If I found an artist, I could probably get it back off the ground again.
I mean, but that's pretty much, if you're a comics gate, you bitch about comics. You make your own comics, and you bitch about wokeness in comics. If you're anti-comics gate, you make your own comics, you bitch about comics, and you complain about lack of wokeness in comics.
I don't know. I complain about comics not being good when they're not good. I'm so sick of everybody it's got to be, well, this doesn't agree with me, so it's bad. That's just the metric everybody uses. Left and right anymore, and it's so fucking annoying and then it's you gotta complain that it's woke, just even when it's not. It's there's a black guy in it, and I'm mad about it. It's also tiring.
I just get them and see what they're like.
I kind of do want to read Cyberfrog. EVS has apparently just turned his back on all the Comicsgate grifters. He might actually still have a soul.
It depends on the Comicsgate grifter. I think Eric July pissed him off, and so that's why he's anti-Eric July.
Eric July.
But then everybody was singing Eric July's praises before he actually shipped anything, so...
You know, the whole thing with, like, because these Comicsgate guys made some money. Some of them made some fucking bank. Respect, you know, credit where it's due. But it all reminds me of the Image Comics of, like, the early 90s. Where it was, like, it was all hyped up. It was almost all garbage. And it was bought by people that don't even fucking read comics. Like, it was bought by people pretending to like it. Like, nobody bought... Very few people bought Youngblood #1 because they really thought it was great. They thought it was going to, you know, be worth $1 million in 30 years. And nobody bought Isom because they thought it was fucking good. No Isom fan has ever been able to explain to me what that comic's about, let alone why it's good. They just think it pisses off people they don't like.
Well, I think most people, I mean, I bought it because it was popular and it honestly looked okay, but nobody had actually seen the comic until everybody bought into it and it started shipping. If you buy the next version, then that's where you're just supporting Eric July at that point.
I don't know. I don't want to read a superhero whose fucking weakness is the goddamn, you know, smoke detector in the hallway. So. Yeah, man. Early on, somebody was trying to get me into some of those Comic Gate streams. I'm like, Spider Sense just going off. I'm like, nah, man. I'm all right. I'm good, thanks.
Yeah, they're hit and miss. Well, it's interesting because I'm friends with some people in Comicsgate, and so it's interesting watching those groups collide. But going back to Coach Red Pill, also watching, because I would have been seeing him ever since the Manosphere days, and then now I'm seeing all the Russia-Ukraine war people, like the Duran, covering and lamenting his death, and like, well, that's a completely different circle.
It's weird hearing Coach Red Pill mentioned by, like, Tucker. That is a really weird... Like, I don't think I ever went on a stream with him, but I know I've been on streams that, you know, like, I know there's, like, you know, you playing the Kevin Bacon game. I know there's, like, 2 degrees of separation from me to him. And he's on the news. That's kind of a weird feeling.
I can tell you it.
What?
You met me, and I've actually met Coach Red Pill in person.
Who?
So he was at the Knoxville Knockout, and I was there, so I got to talk with him in person. So that's your degree of separation.
Chat says the secret is not to have friends or believe in anything. I mean, see, that's the thing. I don't believe in any of these causes anymore, as it were. Like, I don't, you know, I believe in Jesus and I believe in freedom. That's about it. You know, and I'm tired of joining these causes and then it just turns to shit. You know, like, imagine if you, like, were 19 right now and you're like, yeah, I don't think we should be sending money to Israel, like a couple years ago, and you join the Groypers. You know, like, yeah, fuck Israel. And then it turns into, like, girls have cooties, let's put on cat ears. Like, it always turns into shit. It always becomes that kind of crap. It always turns to just garbage. It always becomes Gamergate.
Well, that's where your spider senses should be going off. I wanted to join in, because Nick was saying some good stuff at the start, but it's like, there's something off with him. So I
mean, he pinged my gaydar, but at the same time, most Zoomers do, so I just figured that's what it was. Because, like, virtually every Zoomer male looks like a fag. Like, they just all do.
An Eldritch fan, I love JDA's comics.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that guy. I see him on Twitter once in a while, but that's about it.
Oh, he is a troll extraordinaire. You would probably disagree a bunch with him, and you might actually get along with him.
I don't mind disagreeing with people. I mean, some of my favorite Twitter accounts, I only like about half of what they say. I'm obviously not allowed on Twitter anymore, chat, but my good friend Andrew Banner is, and he shows me stuff on there. Oh, man.
I should ask if do a poll or something like that. Do people actually start calling it X?
I'm never calling it X. That's stupid. I still type in twitter.com when I'm going to it. Like, I've never typed the link x.com, whatever, you know? Like, never done that.
So does that make it X Twitter?
No, it's just Twitter. It's Twitter. I never got my Twitter back. You know, Elon never gave me my Twitter back. I'm too based. I'm too based and red-pilled. The Ukrainians and the Russians are after me, so. But I was smart enough to stay in America, so they can't get me.
And you don't have a...
They try to poison the Fosnots, but I don't eat them, so it's fine.
You don't have a wife and 2 small girls to take care of like CRP did.
Yeah, no kids I know of. I don't know, man. That's your first responsibility. Like, if you're gonna put yourself and your family at risk for just the dumbest of fucking reasons, I don't. It's not heroic.
It's the single guys who've got a lot of testosterone and nowhere to dump it. That's why you become a hero.
So many chats is what happened to Davis. Well, I don't know anyone by that name. So, are you talking about Leo? Let's not dead name him. Oh. I think Davis has a job now, to be honest with you. That's what I think happened to him. I think he's actually working for a living. Good for him.
Living in the real world like everybody else should.
I don't know, man. I don't have any bad blood with him. I don't even really make jokes that often about him anymore.
Yeah, there's so many other lol cows that are... The bar for cringe behavior has gone way up. Now you have to be a drunk guy living in Mexico with a bunch of baby mamas in order to hit that cringe level.
I don't know what Ralph's up to recently. I'm friends with him on Facebook still, which is weird because I don't think I've ever really talked to him that much. I was chatting with him years ago about coming on his show, and then he like blew up really quick and is just, you know, kind of just ghosted me, which I don't even think was intentional. I think he was probably just getting a million messages at that point. So, like, whatever. I'm kind of glad I never went on there. It's not necessarily something I want to have. It's not an association I necessarily want in my past now.
Yeesh. I was on a couple of his streams back when he was smaller, before he blew up big.
But yeah, I see sometimes him posting, like, pictures of his new girlfriend that I'm sure is totally not paid for. I don't know where he's still getting the money, man. I don't know where he's still... I know the cost of living is low in Mexico, but it ain't fucking zero. You know, he'll stream...
Kino Casino has been covering the Ralpha... what do they call it? Ralpha Mania. Basically, he relapsed and has been drunk off his ass and
yeah, I've been
saying a
calling
whole
a lot
bunch
of
of stuff
Kino
and burning bridges and stuff.
They're just... Kick sucks. Kick is so Kick is shit. So I don't watch him that much anymore. I can't get it to work on Roku, and it barely works on my phone. I get it to play for like 5 minutes, and I have to, you know, reset it. I have to be sitting at the laptop to watch something on Kick, and I'm just not doing that. The Kino Casino is something I like to have on in the background when I'm like playing a video game or doing some household chores or something. You know what I mean?
I can get through it, but I download the stream and then play it on 3 times speed in order to get through it.
When he was on YouTube, I used to just check the timestamps because PvP timestamped so much. Like every every 3 minutes had a timestamp, so you could find exactly what you wanted. So he said, desktop Chad, stay winning. I mean, it is the best way to get most of these sites to work, but again, it's just I just don't want to sit here and watch Kino Casino. That's something I have on in the background if I'm doing something else.
You almost want to prop the laptop up and then play it while you're... Because I know you're not playing a PC game.
I've done that a couple of times, like to watch them since I've moved to Kick. Like I've just put the laptop in my room while I was playing something or whatever. Because again, it's the only thing I can get it to work on.
On the plus side, they haven't had any strikes or anything like that ever since they moved over, so I can see why they moved over.
If they're still getting the audience and the money, I don't blame them. I mean, you know.
Yeah, they're still getting buku loads of money.
They don't need me around. I send them, maybe 1 or 2 super chats a month when I was watching them heavily. You know what I mean? And there weren't no big Medicare Masochist ones. It was like $5. Haha, Ralph's fat.
It might be worth, if you don't mind giving them money, it might be worth doing their Gumroad subscription. Because they started downloading the streams and putting them up on Gumroad.
I don't know. If I was going to get a subscription to one of these internet shows, it'd probably be Revenge of the Sis. I know a lot of people want to shit on Merch these days, and I kind of get it, although I think it's rarely overblown, but Revenge of the Sis is still consistently funny to me, so if I was going to subscribe to an internet show, that's probably the one I'd do. Because hell, when they go on vacation, it seems like the damn local show is the only one they do. And I used to be able to get Grubby in the Discord to just send us a link because he was subscribed to him, but I guess they've actually secured shit over there, and you have to be behind the paywall. You can't just get the link. So he says, is Medicare gone too? Medicare still posts on Post, I think it's called. I follow a bot on Twitter that reposts it, but I don't think he plans on streaming anytime soon.
I think he did one over for Christmas. That was about it.
Yeah, he did one on New Year's. A lot of what he was covering I didn't really know and I didn't really follow, so it wasn't... I didn't think it was that great a one. But yeah, I'd probably subscribe to Revenge of the Sis before Kino Casino. I mean, like, Revenge of the Sis actually covers news. Like, I feel like I get enough news just with my Twitter feed and Revenge of the Sis. But it's like, Ralph pooping his pants isn't news. It's funny, but it's not, you know what I mean? It's not something I could bring up at the water cooler. Hey, did you hear about Ethan Ralph pooping his pants? Like, who the fuck is that?
You could be that guy.
Did y'all hear about this gay little fucking Catholic guy named Nick Face?
Quote unquote Catholic.
Well, I mean, there is more video evidence of him on dates with dudes than going to church.
Honestly, I like Kino Casino because it's not news. I'm trying to get away from the news. I don't want to listen to it.
I like to get just enough, for no other reason than just be sociable and be able to talk about his... A lot of people like to talk about fucking news, you know what I mean? Like, I already can't stand most sports, so I can't hold a conversation about that. So, I gotta have something to connect to the normies with.
I listen to enough other stuff that I get plenty of news from them.
Most of what I get just scrolling Twitter. I get a decent amount. Oh lordy. I don't know where that coach. I don't know where the coach fucking fanboy came from.
Not sure. I mean, we didn't say anything that was particularly offensive.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with him. I just think it was stupid. Like,
Well, he just made the wrong bet.
I don't know, man. Like I said, every once in a while, one of them guys comes in. He's like, "What'd you do for the movement?"
I can tell you what.
Or
Andy and PPP, they're helping out the white race by not having kids. So.
well, that's my plan. I mean, I looked at myself and I'm like, haven't I done enough damage? Yeah. Don't need another one of me running around. We all know Nick is, when he turns 30, he's going to get his child bride and have a bunch of kids. I don't understand how these people, like, I get that people are like hungry for something to believe in, that they want something to coalesce behind because everything's kind of falling the fuck apart. But I really don't get how, like, you're going to be like, oh yeah, I'm going to follow Nick Fuentes. Well, yeah, that Matt Walsh guy, or Ben Shapiro guy, they seem really switched on. They totally don't seem like sociopaths dead behind the eyes. I just don't get it, man.
Anybody who actually cares about the movement has pulled it off and went with Jaden.
I'm gonna go follow Owen Benjamin into the woods to join his totally not gay club, where they talk about cum all the time.
I have not been keeping up with that idiot.
I don't know. He's still on Twitter, but every time he shows up in the For You page, I'm just like, yeah, let's not recommend that anymore.
It's fun to watch you spurg out over his videos, though.
No, it's not. It's not fun at all.
It's fun for us.
You people need to be paying a lot more then. It's fucking, watching him is fucking miserable, man. Cause you just know he abuses the fuck out of that kid. He abuses the fuck out of those animals. Like, imagine what a nightmare it is growing up with Owen Benjamin as your fucking father. This schizo fucking closet case that screams about moon Jews all the time. Like, good God, man.
The sad part is that he's actually got a family. If it was just him ranting in the woods, it would be funny as hell.
I don't even like the fact that he's taking care of animals. I don't even trust him with animals, let alone a kid. Like, I'd like somebody to step in and even take the goats away. Like, man, fuck Owen Benjamin. Yet another obvious closet case that needs to make his repressed homosexuality everybody else's problem. Seems to be a lot of that on the right.
Like Gavin McInnes.
Yeah, Gavin McInnes and arguing with Nick the Catboy over who could stick more things up their butt. Yeah, Gavin's a perfect example. Runs around all the fucking time, you know, giving everybody... So again, I don't like these Comicsgate grifters. I think all of them are a piece of shit. But it was a few months ago, maybe the better part of a year ago at this point, Gavin goes on fucking Nerdrotic, everybody's favorite meth head, went on his fucking stream. And, you know, they're supposed to be talking about comics and nerd shit. And Gavin's like, comic books are gay. Comic books are gay. Now let me take my little pecker out so that your channel gets nuked. And everyone's like, I can't believe he would do that. But, like, if I could have looked that Nerdrotics guy in the face, I'd be like, that's what you get. Why did you invite him? Did you just not know anything about him? Or were you just being a clout-chasing fucking faggot? Why did you invite him on? I have no pull. I have no clout. I could use the views. I could use the money. And if Gavin McInnes was like, hey, can I come on your channel? I'd tell him to suck my cock. And then I'd stress the fact that that's metaphorical before he gets too excited.
It's not the first time that somebody has shown their nether regions on stream.
Yeah, but like Gavin's gonna do that, and like you're talking about nerd shit, and Gavin's gonna go on there just to fuck it up. Like, okay, like nobody's gonna invite me onto the anime stream because I'm just gonna be like, these gook tunes are gay. I think they're gay. But also, I wouldn't even go on because I'm not that much of a fucking asshole.
But they knew that Gavin could do that, and they were A, willing to accept the risk, and B, knew that it would be a real moneymaker if he did.
They're lucky he didn't get their channel nuked. And frankly, if he had gotten his channel nuked, I'd have laughed my ass off. If he got his ass thrown off YouTube, I'd have laughed my ass off. But yeah, don't give a guy like that the time of day. I'm gonna have somebody shoving a butt plug up his ass tell me I'm not a real man. Get fucked, man. Yeah. Again, the repressed homosexuality is the lifeblood of the online right. Bunch of closet cases got to make it everybody else's problem.
Wolfman does point out that the reason Gavin is gay is because he's Canadian.
That's true. I mean, you're not wrong. You look at fucking Crowder. Crowder's another example of, again, a closet case got to make it everyone else's problem. Nine times out of 10, I swear, if you listen to one of these right-wing guys long enough, you catch on to the fact that he's either a closet case or he's just somebody that can't make a pussy wet. That's another thing they like to tip their hand to. The old Ben Shapiro pussies don't get wet thing. Doug Wilson, like, women don't like sex.
Well, he's half right. A bunch of them don't like sex, and a bunch of them don't like sex with him.
Yeah, Doug, women don't like sex with you. Like, yeah, that checks out, bud. But again, that's where so much of this fucking social conservative authoritarianism bullshit comes from. Somebody either a limp dick beta that can't get a pussy wet, or they're a closet fag, and they got to make it everybody else's problem. Like, if somebody is living that, that kind of trad social conservative lifestyle, I don't have a problem with that. Like, that's not the kind of guy I'm talking about. But the kind of guy that's, like, mad about it. There's a difference between somebody that's like, I don't think you should watch porn, or somebody who's like, I think you should be thrown in jail if you watch porn. There's a big difference between that.
Well, and it comes down to the fact that we've got authoritarians on both sides. And
Yes.
they just want different things from that.
Fallen Kang says, R.I.P. Coach. That's right. Coach Red Pill is gone. He died doing what he loved. Being a fucking idiot. Somebody in chat says, the clip of Owen saying actually wanting a woman to suck you off makes you gay because it's actually the same as a dude doing it is so wild. So there was a guy, and I'm not going to name him because I am pretty cool with him. But you'd probably know him if I named him, Cynic. He ran in these manosphere circles. Never a big name, but he had a blog, that kind of shit. And he went all, like, ortho bro, because of course. And I remember one time, I'm at work, and him and I were just, like, bullshitting texting. This wasn't too long ago. This was, like, 2022 or 3 or whatever, And he's like, he's asking me, like, a bunch of fucking weird questions, but whatever. I understand being a weirdo, Spurg. I am a weirdo, Spurg, when you get right down to it. I have a lot of sympathy and patience for people that lack social skills. Because, hey, I feel you. I've been there. So he's like, did you ever fuck a woman in the ass? And I'm like, yes, I have, actually. And he's like, that makes you gay. I'm like, I'm pretty sure it doesn't. It's the same thing as being gay. And I'm like, I don't think it is. Really don't think it is, bud. How do you figure?
Oh, it's the whole Hitler drank water, so if you drink water, you're a Nazi kind of deal.
Sure, because women and men have buttholes. So, like, yeah, I understand that. I think somebody in chat asked if it's cool to hop in. It's in the Discord, man. Just hop in. This is open to whoever. If you have access to the Discord and you want to hop in, hop the fuck in. I don't care. But yeah, that's a weird, like, I remember because this guy's like a Batman fan. That's the other thing. Like, right wingers, they hate cape shit, but they love Batman. Don't understand why. You'd think if anything they'd be. You'd think if anything they'd be Punisher fans, because that's basically one man right wing death squad. But I guess because Punisher hasn't had a video game or a movie recently, they don't know who that is. So they're big Batman fans, and he's talking to me about like Batman the animated series and even to a lesser extent Batman Beyond and Justice League, and he's getting all mad because in Batman Beyond, Barbara Gordon is now commissioner. She's old as fuck, and she marries some black dude like in her old age. Like she has some, and he goes, "This is terrible because it's supporting interracial couplings, and it's supporting because they're too old to have kids. They shouldn't get married. It's supporting non-reproductive sex." And I'm like, "You're talking to the wrong guy, man. I don't actually have a problem with interracial marriage or non-reproductive sex. If two old as fuck 80-year-olds want to get married, seems kind of gross to me, but fine, good on them."
They seem to like it.
Yeah, that's all right. I don't have a problem. And yeah, a lot of the push for interracial stuff is from the media is kind of annoying, especially when you know where it's coming from. But I don't actually have a problem with it. I'm not actually offended.
Have you seen the 4chaners trying to push the black men plus Jewish women trope?
That shit's funny. Yes, I've seen. I saw a group doing that on Facebook. It was funny as hell. What is funny though is for as much as like they push the like white chick with a black guy, it's usually the inverse is way more common and usually way more stable relationships.
Oh, I think I posted that of Nick Fuentes with a bunch of black girls all around him. Like, this is the life you could have had, bud.
Yeah, that Radfem Hitler on Twitter was saying that, like, if only he hadn't gotten into racism and homosexuality.
Most of the girls that hit on me are black. Like, I don't know why, but that just seems to be the case.
Closest I ever got to a black chick was when I was starting to go to church, like 2007 or 8ish, maybe even 2009ish. I ended up chatting up some cute black girl at church, and next thing I know, I'm going to a lunch date with her, and her parents are there, because evangelicals are just wild like that. You meet the parents like right away. It's so uncomfortable, frankly. Like, I don't remember. I never really talked to this girl again. I met her fucking parents, and her and her mother are just chatting there. We're at some like shitty little pizza place, after church, just chatting it up. And that father is giving me a look. Like I could hear his fucking voice in my head, just projected into my mind. Like, what the fuck do you think you're doing? Like, just Norman Osborn and Peter Parker at Thanksgiving dinner kind of fucking look to one another. He was not happy about the situation, and the mom and the daughter were just oblivious to that.
That would have been a very interesting outcome.
If that would have progressed, it honestly would not have dissuaded me at all, because I'm like, whatever, dude. Give a shit.
I don't know, man. I've known a few black dads, and they scare me.
I've never been one of those guys. It's like, you see that as like a trope. For so long, it was like a trope in old sitcoms and stuff, where like the guy is afraid of his father-in-law and all. And I've just never, like, if I ever had like a father-in-law or a father of a girlfriend I was serious about that was really giving me a lot of shit, I kind of at some point would just sit down with him like, look, buddy, I don't care about getting along with you other than it makes her happier. So like, you can cool it with this shit, Are you going to take a punch at me? Otherwise, I'm not fazed, all right? I'm too borderline autistic to be bothered by the fact that you're mad at me.
I'm just imagining you with a bunch of mulatto kids running around and having fun.
Remember the old Nintendo Wii commercial where like the dad is like all like the in-laws are there and all the kids are there and the dad's trying to get everybody to do Christmas stuff, but everybody just wants to play the Nintendo Wii. There's like a scene in there in one of those commercials, and it made me laugh. But it was like, "Come on, Dad, let's go caroling." He's saying this to his father-in-law, like, and he's like, "I'm not your dad. Call me Phil." As he's like playing like, this was right when like New Super Mario Wii was first coming out. I just remember thinking I'd look him dead in the eyes, and go, "Okay, Phil, get your hands off my Nintendo and get out of my house." Fucking asshole. You can speak to me that way in my fucking house at Christmas? Get the fuck out of here.
I think he would have come around.
I also never got the trope of the and again, you saw this in sitcoms, but it didn't come out of nowhere. You know, this is a lot of guys were like this. Where like the guy was a guy never that's afraid to stick up for his wife because his mom's giving her shit. You know what I mean? You'd see this a lot in like old shows. And granted, I never got along with my mom, and I never gave a shit what she thought of anything. But like, I can remember at least one time when my dad did not approve of a girl that I was seeing and kind of mouthed off to her a little bit. And I pulled him aside, and I love my dad to death. Him and I are super close. I respect the hell out of him. And I said, "Look, you speak to her that way again, and I'm going to knock your teeth out." And I mean, I was an adult at this point, and I looked him dead in the eyes, and he looked at me for a moment, and he just goes, "That's fair."
Yeah, if you've got a problem with her, talk to you, not...
Yeah, you want to run your mouth at me about it, that's fine. I'll sit there and listen, but don't you bring your mouth at her.
No, I've always gotten shit from like the dad, but it's never been towards like the girl. Nothing.
When I was seeing an older chick back when I was about 25, I ended up meeting her mother kind of by accident. Her mother just stopped by her place when I was over there. And I always looked younger. Like, I spent my 20s looking like I was fucking 15. And, you know, it was like an awkward introduction and all. And then I hear her mom as she's about ready to leave. I hear her talking to this, Becky was her name. And she's all like, I just hear her going like, "What are you doing? You're going to get in trouble." Like, she thought her daughter was fucking like the teenage neighbor or something. He's like, "He's 25. And I just heard mom go, "He's not 25.
Oh, Bechtloff's in the news.
What do you do now?
That's it. I think the worst she would have gotten would be a slap on the wrist nowadays.
Let me assure you, if I was a teenager and fucking an adult woman, no one would know. Ever. I'd take that shit to the grave. I never understood the guys that bragged when they were teenagers. Because again, I wasn't banging an adult woman, but like, I never bragged about banging my girlfriend. I had a fucking three-way before I was done high school. Never fucking said a word about it. Because I was always of the mindset that like, if we don't keep shit a secret, like, somebody might put a stop to it. You know what I mean? Her parents didn't particularly like me, and that kind of, you know, so ISIS couldn't have. I could have just gotten done fucking my girlfriend. ISIS couldn't have gotten it out of me. So I never understood the guys that bragged. It's just like, nope, nothing's happening. Don't know what you're talking about.
It's just like, I don't know how do I put this. It's like the bragging rights, but I have a feeling a lot of people who brag don't really do it as often as they say they do. I don't know.
I guess I get that.
I didn't understand the whole high school dynamic bullshit.
I don't know. I had my couple of friends, and I had my girlfriend, and that's all I gave a shit about. So I wasn't trying to climb any social ladders. You know, I was getting my dick wet, and I was having some fun with some buddies. What the hell else did I want? Like,
That's how you do it. And then when the statute of limitations expires, you can talk about it on a live stream.
Yeah, with complete strangers.
Oh yeah, I'll talk about that now. I wouldn't mention it if I'd have fucked a teacher though. I'd take that to the grave. I don't know how these kids are just ratting them out. It's fucking stupid.
I mean, I guess on the upside nowadays, no kids are having sex.
Oh my gosh, I just saw something getting shared where it was one of those like 4chan green text stories, so who knows if it's real. But it was like some 16-year-old was afraid that he's a pedophile because he's dating a 14-year-old. Like, that's how bad we've skewed this whole like age gap nonsense. Oh my gosh, she's only 14.
I have noticed that the Puritanism is getting...
I don't know why the Zoomers and especially Gen Alpha think, if there's like more than a 3-day age difference that it's something scandalous. I don't know where the fuck that came from.
When I was growing up, anything more than like 10 or 12 years was where people were giving you a side eye, but that was when I was young.
I can tell you this too, and I mean, I was a teenager in the late 90s, very early 2000s kind of thing. There was a lot of teenagers banging adults. It was just like, never mind a 2-year age, but there was a lot of that shit, that illegal shit. And it was kind of like underage drinking, where it was like, yeah, if you get caught, we're probably going to ruin your life, but everybody's doing it, nobody really cares. I mean, I know specifically like a 14-year-old girl. I moved out of Maryland when I was like 15. So she was, I guess, was 15. She was my age. She was dating a dude who was like 25. And he was just over at the house, and the parents seemed to get along with him just fine. So, but like, no, that was just... I knew people in high school that had fucked teachers. Like, that shit just happened. And I don't know, man. Now they want to act like, oh my gosh, this 20-year-old is dating a 30-year-old. Let's have it's so scandalous. I don't know how everybody got so fucking autistic about everything.
I'm sure it has something to do with like the Epstein related and tangential stuff, and now everybody's getting, like hyper aware of it and conflating the issues or something.
Yeah, but again, that's the thing. There's a difference between that and pedophilia. Like, the Kino Casino was notorious for that, where they're like, oh my gosh, we dug up a Discord thing of a 19-year-old that was chatting up a 17-year-old. Oh my gosh, it's pedophilia. Or this one guy was looking at a drawing. Come on, man.
It's because of the weaponization of pedophilia accusations. Where...
Yeah.
But again,
it doesn't have to actually happen. You just have to be able to claim it.
But eventually you're going to get to a point where, 10, 15 years ago, calling somebody a racist could fucking ruin their life. And now everybody laughs about it. Nobody gives a shit.
Oh, yeah. It's gonna
So maybe we shouldn't do that to pedophilia. Maybe that's my problem. Like, you know what? If you're 30 and you're fucking a 15-year-old, that's skeezy. And you shouldn't be doing that. And I don't even necessarily think that should be legal. But to conflate that to pedophilia is fucking bonkers to me.
Oh, but they're doing it with if you're a 19-year-old dating a 20-something-year-old, then you're a pedophile kind of deal.
I mean, I remember my high school sweetheart. She was a month younger than me, and she like the whole month between me turning 18 and her turning 18. Every time we fooled around, she kept like joking, like she's like, "You broke the law," and I don't even know if that's true because I know some states, if you're close, they're not gonna hold it against you or whatever. But like, it was just this big joke we had with each other because let's be real, that's a fucking line in the sand that we drew. Yeah, we had to draw a line somewhere. That's where we drew it. But like, that's to conflate like somebody banging a teenager to somebody fucking a 5-year-old is the most bonkers thing in the world to me. It's like conflating a slap in the face to murder. Like, you might be able to argue that's on the same spectrum, but they're very different things.
I just know the future's going to be great.
And that's the other reason I think that a lot of this age gap shit happens. This just insane autistic discourse about it is because we have infantilized these kids so much to the point where, I mean, I talk about, when I was a teenager, a lot of that shit was happening. Teenagers hooking up with college kids or adults. But like, a 14-year-old in 1997 is probably mentally where a 25-year-old is now.
Well, I know with just at work with the Zoomers I deal with, they're like in their 20s, and they act like early teens.
I worked with a 20-year-old girl at my last job, and her and I got along well, and I chatted her up and all. And I talked about like some of the shenanigans I'd have in high school, and she'd be fucking amazed. Like, oh my gosh, the things you like. Her high school was apparently like a fucking prison camp. Like, just monitored all the time. Like, I told her, I was like, yeah, one time, actually a couple of times, my girlfriend and I, we snuck off to this one, this one corner of the school where there weren't a lot of classes and fooled around in the fucking bathroom. And she's like, what? There weren't cameras everywhere? I'm like, no.
You could get away with a lot of stuff because there were cameras, but they didn't catch much, and they were expensive, so they're very strategically placed.
I remember my parents, they still own that house in Maryland, and a couple of times they would make day trips down to Maryland to like help sell that house or whatever. And so I had the house to myself that day, and it'd be like, yeah, I'd walk to school and meet up with my girlfriend, and then we'd just walk back.
There was stuff that happened in my school, I know that much. Like, I didn't do anything on campus, so. School actually was designed after a prison. The library was where the cell blocks were supposed to be.
Oh, yeah, schools are laid out the same way, but it wasn't...
It was literally the rejected floor plan for the prison. They ended up just using it for the school. So, like, it had no windows. They had to come in with special diamond chainsaws my senior year and cut windows in because they were...
most of my classrooms in most of my schools didn't have windows. Now that I think about it. A lot of them did, but probably the majority didn't.
Only like a few rooms had windows on the outside of the building. Because they're on the outside of the building. But those were like where the offices were supposed to be and administrative. They were the only rooms that had windows. They had to add windows later.
I don't know. Like I said, I don't think all this calling everybody a pedophile shit's gonna end well for anybody.
I think it's really gonna devalue it.
That's what I mean. Like,
there was a it's not like I guess it is like a DA, but like on the local level. But she was doing this witch hunt and accused a lot of people of pedophilia. And by like the fourth case, they had like no evidence, and people were wising up to it.
There was a few counts.
3 guys' lives.
There was a few counts I remember of some of these DAs going after like teenagers, because all these teenagers have a cell phone, whether they should or not, they fucking do. And I can assure you that if I had a cell phone with a camera when I was a teenager, I probably would have been taking pictures of my dick and receiving pictures of pussies. Okay? That's probably what I do. I may or may not have done similar things with my dad's Polaroid. And that was a lot more difficult to do back then. So, yeah, a lot of teenagers were sending fucking pics at each other. And yeah, a picture of a 16-year-old's fucking pussy is technically child porn. So they're charging a 16-year-old girl or a 16-year-old boy with distributing a child porn for sending a picture of their junk to their fucking boyfriend or girlfriend.
Are they charging them as adults when they do this?
I don't remember. There was a few cases of this a few years ago, and it's like, I don't even know if any of it stuck. But it's like, what kind of a fucking monster do you have to be like, oh, some teenagers are going, show me yours, I'll show you mine, so we should ruin their lives?
Say that's about half the prosecutors.
Yeah. So locally, she was just trying to build up her career to move up. And she ended up losing the job, but she never actually faced any repercussions beyond that.
But yeah, there's a lot of that shit, man, and they just...
But like what you said, a friend once told me where he lived, he had a local case where they were charging kids who were sexting each other with distributing CP, but they wanted to charge them as adults. But the judge got it, and he's like, you can't have them both distributing this exploitation material and charge them as adults, and he threw the case out.
Yeah, if they're adults, then it can't be CP.
Then it can't be CP. And he's like, you can charge them as minors, but this is a joke. And then he threw it out because he realized it was going to ruin the kids' lives.
Yeah, it's like maybe you shouldn't ruin 2 teenagers' lives because they're playing grab ass.
Well, they weren't like late. They were like mid-teens. But like, yeah, he was like, "This is a joke. What are you doing here?" Um, I don't think we have that many judges like that, but you know, I don't know. Someone in the chat saying they went after teenagers over AI recently, like AI generated stuff.
I wouldn't be
Probably.
surprised. I mean, they go after. Oh, you drew a drawing, and we're gonna call it child porn. It's like, all right, it's that's totally not an overreach.
Well, I don't know what that case is. If they used like AI to generate an image of somebody, or if it was just totally fabricated.
The whole reason child porn is illegal is because to produce it, you have to commit a crime, and the reason you're not allowed to buy it is because that's commissioning a crime. So when you're dealing with
Unless
AI
you're-
images or you're dealing with a fucking drawing, then it's nobody was actually harmed.
Yeah, that's going to be a big thing going forward. I don't think people are really ready for AI.
And also with like
I
drawings
know
and shit, I
they
mean,
are. There's already people who think it's sentient and trying to give it rights already, and it's just a language model. Like it doesn't think at all. It's just word association and math.
Well, you did hear about the professor who flunked his entire class because ChatGPT said that each of the papers that they wrote were created by ChatGPT.
so he's using AI to grade them. That's not at all hypocritical.
Oh, it turns out ChatGPT says that anything that you feed it is created by AI. So they were feeding his papers and even the email that he sent out.
Yeah, like they're using AI to try to detect AI, and it's not very accurate.
Even if you use AI, you have to clean it up. It'll give you, if you're lucky, it'll give you the skeleton of something to work with on a paper, and then you have to clean it up.
Yeah, I use it to automate some coding, but yeah, it usually uses for very little snippets of stuff, just to automate scaffolding and stuff like that, or use it for writing actual text, like commit messages and stuff like that. But you have to clean it up because it does a mediocre job of it.
He said they used AI to make images that look like their classmates. Oh, I think I heard about this. Okay, I don't know the details of the case though. But what I heard was they used it to like generate images based on their classmates.
I mean, you could argue that's getting into like territories of harassment or something like that, but I don't know. Calling that like child porn is just, again, you're conflating something that's not nearly as bad with something that is utterly monstrous. And I don't think that's a good thing to do. I don't think it's a good thing to water down the definition of child porn. Just like it's not a good thing to water down the definition of pedophilia.
Yeah, but I think that's the whole goal anyway, is to water it down so that nobody cares.
Because that's what you're going to end up with. Nobody's going to care. Because at the end of the day, unless you're an absolute moralizing faggot, nobody's going to get worked up about a 20-year-old and a 17-year-old dating. Nobody is. All right? So if you want to make it that that's what the issue is, eventually you're going to have nobody care, period.
I do think that's kind of the end goal. Like,
I understand that might be the end goal, but it's like you have all these useful idiots feeding into it, and that's what kind of bugs me. Like, I don't think that's the end goal of Kino Casino. You know what I mean? I don't think PDP wants to have the word pedophilia watered down, but that's what he's doing.
If I could put my schizo hat on, I think with what we know about like a lot of the world leaders having blackmail material on them and stuff, or at least what we think, I think what a lot of them are trying to do is get it where people don't care one way or another. So when that stuff finally leaks out, people are just kind of, numb and don't have any political will to do anything about it. That's my personal take. I don't think it's like mustache twirling evil. We want to hurt the kids. I think it's They're like, oh shit, I gotta make sure that when this finally comes out, I'm okay, kind of thing.
Somebody snuck off with those Epstein tapes.
That might be it, because
That's my thinking.
I'm sure having the Mossad endlessly blackmail you because they got you high and had you fuck a 10-year-old is probably not something you want to live with.
Oh no, you mentioned the agency that cannot be mentioned. You spoke the truth.
No, I think
Why would you do that?
I think it's going to get worse than that. I think they're just going to eventually legalize the whole thing.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised.
Either that or we're going to get the inverse where they're just going to keep going harder on, oh my gosh, you're 25 and you dated a 30-year-old off to jail.
Yeah, we're in a moral picnic, which we wouldn't have had if we had conservatives actually raising their kids and teaching them real values instead of wanting the government to do it.
That's too hard. So you just ship them
really
off
hard.
to child scholastic daycare.
Well, the amount of times I got to hear about how we need to ban porn because teenagers are looking at porn, and I'm like, okay.
When I was growing up, it was just...
Yeah, first of all, teenagers always been looking at porn. Second of all, don't let your teenager do it then. How about that?
Well, when I was growing up, it was like accepted kids weren't supposed to be on the internet.
Yeah, that would be great. Because you know what? The fact that every once in a while I have to hear a 14-year-old's opinion is a violation of my human rights.
It is. It's a crime against
if
nature
a
to hear a 12-year-old's opinion.
If someone under the age of 15 offers me their unsolicited opinion on anything, I should be allowed to punch them in the face. Like, just
I'm more,
not hard. I'm not trying to break their nose. I just want to teach them to shut the fuck up.
I'm more amenable to banning kids from the internet and making it like a rite of passage, like getting a driver's license.
That would be
I am
great.
to, like, censoring the internet.
You know, like social media is always like you have to be like 13 or 14 or 15 to have an account. That should just be the internet. Like if we find someone under the age of 15 with unfettered internet access, their parents get a fine. Your 10-year-old was on Twitter. It's a fine.
Give it a few years and Utah will do exactly that.
It'll be
South
great too.
Carolina,
Then just think of how much better culture will be if we don't have fucking 10-year-olds at the fucking steering wheel. We wouldn't have to have a Five Nights at Freddy movie. Like, it'd be fucking great.
No, we'd still have the Five Nights at Freddy movie. Don't worry.
No. Because the only reason that game got popular is because a bunch of 10-year-olds watched PewDiePie shriek about it. Let's be real.
I don't know about that.
Aaron Clary in the chat says, Coach Dead Pill Harsh. How are you doing? I hope you're doing well, Bechtloff. We weren't even talking about Coach that much. That's a funny thing. It was just a funny pun to name the show.
Yeah. Well,
We talked about it more than I wanted to because one of his fans came in the chat and just spurred out.
Well, we're talking about him now. You want to talk about him some more?
Nah.
You sure?
I really don't even know enough about the guy, to be honest. I never watched his stuff. I never found him that interesting. Like, I don't think I've ever watched a Coach Red Pill produced stream. I know I've seen him on streams, but I don't think I've ever...
I mostly read his Twitter posts, which were actually pretty funny. But
I remember a stream where he was on with Medicare. He was trying to say, Medicare, your videos aren't as good now. And Jim was just giving him all sorts of shit about it.
CRP's videos were cringe. He did the weird multicolor backgrounds and stuff like that. It was difficult to watch.
Yeah, I've seen parodies of it. I remember Godwinson's parody of it was pretty funny. Yeah.
Back when Godwinson was actually funny.
Is he still hanging out with the fucking Groypers?
The Groypers are still a thing?
Yeah, Nick still has all his boyfriends.
Well, I know Nick's still around. But, are Groypers still a thing?
Yeah, you find him at pride parades. I see him on Twitter every once in a while.
Stuff with the Groypers.
Every time adults are trying to have a conversation about maybe we shouldn't send all this money to Israel, We gotta have Griper show up and shit the place up.
Oh boy. Corix brings up something I haven't heard in a while, which is Kilroy.
Oh yeah, I haven't heard that name forever.
Oh, wasn't that all the fucking all the skeptic guys were doing that after Gamergate or something? Supposed to be a free speech convention or whatever.
Yeah, and
It seems so long ago.
God, it
was.
really does.
Remember
Gamergate
the
seems so
70
long
era?
ago.
It was such a simpler time too.
Gamergate seems
what?
older than the NES in my fucking mind. It's like that's how long ago Gamergate feels.
I think the only thing we got out of Kilroy was Mundane Matt dancing.
Oh, what was the
I'm
what was the one that had the
surprised.
ball pit? The
I think
Tumblr
that
one.
was that.
Where they had the ball pit and somebody peed in the ball pit.
Wasn't it like a tiny little pit in like a room?
Yeah, it was just like an inflatable like little pool balls and somebody pissed in it.
Well, at least it's authentic.
Isn't that every ball pit?
No, what
If
was
there's
the
not
name?
vomit in it too. It's
Chat,
not
what was the name of the Tumblr convention with the ball pit? Somebody in chat, help me out.
We'll use the power of the 24 watchers. Come on, one of you has to remember it.
Oh man,
You think it was VidCon or something like that?
I don't know. I don't. Maybe. I can't remember what I had for lunch like 3 days ago. I don't think I'm going to remember this convention.
nobody in chat's helping me out. Oh man,
Nobody in chat remembers. It's been that long.
DashCon, thank you. DashCon, it was DashCon. That was gonna drive me nuts too.
Back when the internet was a little bit more fun and a lot more
A
free.
lot more fun. The censorship had only just started a little bit, but it wasn't really like ingrained in the structure. Oh man, I remember when we had to worry about dumb shit. I miss those days.
Well, I think I'm gonna wrap this up because I've gone almost 2 hours and I ain't getting no more super chats right now, and I am a whore. So, gonna go ahead and wrap this up. Thanks for calling in, guys. Thanks everybody for watching. If you enjoy the show, consider sending a super chat when I'm not live, and I'll see it when I am live.